Did you just get up?
I did not.
What time did you wake up?
I've been up for a while.
30 minutes?
No.
He's got his PJ shorts on today.
Yes.
That means PJ is synonymous with
Beyond
pajamas.
comfort shorts. I saw these at the store and decided that these are definitely beyond comfort and I need to have these.
Do you try those on before you?
No, I just felt them and I just knew it was right.
What do they feel like? Can I feel them?
Oh no. No.
Well, what can I? It looks.
I don't want to ruin it for you.
So you got spandex PJs on?
They're not spandex. They're beyond comfort sleeping shorts. Thank you very much.
It's like Serena Williams' cat suit, kind of.
Almost.
Cat.
Almost. I put her to shame though.
Now, do you usually wear shorts when you're sleeping, or?
These are. Yes, yes I do.
All right. Yeah. I just go boxers. That's it.
Most of the time it's just boxers.
Oh, nice. Okay, we're like twinsies.
Yeah.
We could be the boxer briefs.
Oh no.
You do straight boxers?
Yeah, come on, man.
I do briefs. I gotta have a little bit. I mean, why even wear boxers if you're not wearing briefs? There's nothing holding anything up.
Well, you got enough. Okay. Doesn't need to be held up. All right.
Okay. Sorry for that opening segment, Mom.
You didn't want to went there. Hey, you don't want to went there. So yes. So welcome to all the bacon and eggs with MMB and
the world famous, world renowned. That's all the adjectives I got. I'm not that smart. JGAG.
Yes. And of course, we are here in the Leo Pope Studios, located in beautiful...
Succulent.
So majestic. Henderson. And, today I just realized that I'm just not going to fight it anymore. I'm an old man. There was signs, I was, balding, gray hair, aches and pains all over and, constantly happening. Weird noises when you chew.
when I get up, there's all sorts of weird noises.
Yeah, but when you chew, there's weird noises now, and it's just like it's okay. But today, I just decided just to go all in. Just the door was cracking, I just busted down. I ate some oysters, some smoked oysters out of a can.
What?
And I liked it.
I've never heard of that.
Not, this is to me a sign because, not that I was sharing the same medications as my 72-year-old uncle, or that I had, that stuff happens. That's a part of it, when you just forget your train of thought in the middle.
He froze.
And
he was buffering.
It was just like, that's exactly. I was leaning into it, now I just busted it down, with the oysters. It's over. That set me over. Set me over.
I've never heard of that. Where do you buy it? Just at a grocery store? What do you mean?
Yeah, I was at a grocery store and I purchased it and I was like, you know what? When you're walking down the aisle and it's like you never looked at something and it's like, that sounds gross when you're younger, like, ugh. Or I would see older people eat it and it was like, oh man, how can you eat that? That's so nasty. And I was walking in the store last night and I said, hey, that actually sounds pretty good. Maybe I should try some oysters.
What do you eat them with?
I ate it with pita bread. So maybe I'm still trying to hold on to a little bit of my youth, not just eat them with some saltine crackers.
I was going to say saltine crackers. That's. Do you like oysters not out of a can?
I do like horses out of the can.
Okay, yeah, I do too, but I don't think I've never tried a...
These are some. They were very. Look, I mean, if you had anything in a can, like when I was a kid, we weren't the richest, so we had a lot of Vienna sausages. There was some, maybe a sardine here too. Stuff like that. And when it's in oil and it's preserved, so it's fine. It just has a canny taste. I don't know how other way to describe it.
So you this is the first time you've ever walked down the aisle and that caught your eye and you said, I gotta have it.
Yeah. And then I pulled my pants up to my chest and just figured I'm just going, this is it. I'm an old man now. I mean, it's just nothing else. I've been joking about it, like, 30's the new 60 for me. No, it's really true now. I'm an old man, and I'm depressed about this. So that's why I'm doing a little day drinking, and we're, that's what's been going on right now. So, but anyway, we are here, just to amuse you, laugh at my pain, laugh at our pain, and yeah. So what do you have for me so I can get off? Because I'm going to interject with old man stuff all day.
Okay, that's fine.
Just because. But anyway, go ahead. Let's see.
I have breaking news.
Okay.
Oh
gosh.
So the Dolphins and Redskins are playing. They're both 0-5.
Yes.
They both want the first pick for the draft next year. We've gone over this a million times, right?
Yeah.
Think about this. Redskins up by 1. Dolphins decide to go for 2. Don't get it. They lose. They lost. As the Dolphins fan, it's the greatest thing that's happened to us in a long time. We just need to keep losing.
So the Redskins won.
Yeah. The Redskins are now 1-5, and the Dolphins are 0-5.
And they fired their coach, right?
The Redskins did, yeah. That was Gruden's brother.
Yep. Jay Gruden's gone.
Yep. Yep. So that's just some breaking news. First on the docket. That stuff like that happens too. You make some funny noises. I have something that's going to be great later that I'm going to play for the audience that I kind of put together with my magical engineering skills behind the scenes. But the first question I had for you, dude, was, and I've seen this floating around for years, and there was a movie going to be directed by Tim Burton. And Tim Burton's had some pretty good ones. I wouldn't say Tim Burton's he also has some ones that have fallen off a cliff too. But there was a movie starring Nicolas Cage, directed by Tim Burton, called Superman, where Nicolas Cage was going to be Superman in his movie. Yeah. Would you want that?
No.
You wouldn't?
Well, when they were talking about doing that, he was still kind of, at the pinnacle of his career. I think he was still doing some good stuff. But they have the shot of him in the suit and everything.
Yeah, with his long hair.
With the long hair and everything.
I still want it.
And but he wasn't going to have a cape. They were going to change all kinds of stuff about Superman. It made no sense.
I'm totally fine with that. If it's Nick Cage and Tim Burton, I'm on board for a Superman.
Why?
It's going to be a train wreck. You wouldn't want to watch that?
No.
And they were going to have Jim Carrey or Gary Oldman be Brainiac. I mean, it's gold. If they're not producing it right now, they're
not producing it right now.
Tim, if you're listening, please go to the executives and pitch this again.
Now it'd be Johnny Depp anyway.
Yes, right, Johnny Depp.
Yeah. You want that? Do you want a Johnny Depp Superman movie?
I mean...
Just walking around like Captain Jack Sparrow? Lois. Like, nobody wants that.
I mean... Oh, man. As far as old actors go, I didn't see Gemini Man, but I saw the previews for it, and it just didn't look that good to me.
No.
And I kind of knew that it was going to do what it did, which was bomb. And
did it?
It did, yeah. The Joker, in the second week of the Joker, just completely destroyed Gemini's opening week. I think Joker was at 50 million, and Gemini was at 20, I think.
And that's funny because you talk about the connection with those. You got Ang Lee, who directed that, and he also directed one of Nicolas Cage's fonder movies, or Face Off.
Face Off.
Yeah, that's what directed that. So that's how the mighty have fallen.
What do you think happened to Will Smith? What do you think is going on with him?
Will Smith. I mean, I honestly don't know. I think more his personal life became more of a focus, and once that started happening, you started noticing things kind of going off the rail with him and his family and all that stuff. Which I don't understand it because he's still a talented dude.
I guess Aladdin did pretty well.
Aladdin did okay,
and I didn't think that I was going to like him in Aladdin at all, and ended up liking him more than I thought.
I didn't see it, so nothing will make me want to go see those Disney remakes. I have no desire at all.
I don't either. I wanted to see what it was all about. Because people were like, "Oh, he actually did a really good job." I'm like, "How? Yeah, how could that be? There's no way." But it wasn't as bad as I thought.
I just don't understand why you're making the same thing. It's just a money grab.
It is. They know that all the suckers will go out there and just watch it and they'll make $1 billion.
I mean, and people aren't. I mean, not suckers.
Yes,
but
yes, you are.
I mean, yes. I'm not calling everybody suckers. JGAG is.
I am. Yes.
All right.
My wife is too. My wife's a huge Disney nerd. She's calling you all suckers.
But those movies. He's had a bad string of movies that he's done, but everybody has that. They reach their pinnacle and then they kind of just fall off. Like.
I'm looking at this. I just pulled up his movies, and I'm trying to find one that, man, it kind of started After Earth was just terrible.
When he started to shoehorn his kids in the films and stuff like that, I think The Pursuit of Happiness had his son in it as well. Yeah. But that one was a good film.
That wasn't bad at all. I didn't mind Concussion. I thought Concussion was fine.
To the truth.
Yeah. No. What was his accent?
I don't know.
Was he
South African?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, who would you rather have, Will Smith or Nicolas Cage as Superman right now?
Will Smith.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, I think if you put Nicolas Cage in any role at this
Will
moment in
Smith
time,
is still much more bankable than Nicolas Cage at this point.
Are you sure? Because I think if you put Nicolas Cage as Superman right now, he would make more money than Will Smith because people just would go out and want to see this train wreck.
No, they would not. No. They'll be like, when is it going to be in Redbox? And is this a 7-Eleven premiere movie?
Speaking of Disney movies, I saw the trailer for Jungle Cruise. Have you seen that with Rock?
No, I saw a thumbnail on YouTube, and I was like, pass.
It's Rock and Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt, yeah.
It's crazy, And when I saw Disney release it on Twitter and they had said, "Oh, watch this new trailer," I'm thinking this is stupid. It looks fun. It looks just like one of those dumb fun movies, and I'm not going to see it in the theaters, but I'm going to see it on Redbox. Just to kind of pass the time. The Rock's a big burly dude and saving Emily Blunt.
But what is it?
I don't know. So from the trailer, it was kind of funny because he's taken all these tourists down like an Amazon river, and he's staging all of the attacks, and he's staging the hippos attacking and elephants and the natives attacking, and then it turns out Emily Blunt then comes I guess later on in the story and says, "Hey, I'll pay you a certain amount of money if you can get me from here to there." So I think that's it. So can he get her from there from A to B?
So is it based off of a Disney property already?
It's based off the ride.
What ride?
There's Are you kidding? The Jungle Cruise ride?
First of all,
you've never been on the Jungle Cruise ride?
I'm a grown adult male.
Okay.
I have not been on a Disney cruise.
No.
Or I haven't been to Disneyland in forever.
It's not even a cruise. It's just a little boat that they bring you.
No, I know, but I haven't been on it.
You never went on it, really?
Can't remember. I can't recall.
It's right next to Indiana Jones now. It's both are phenomenal.
So
rides.
I have been to Disneyland recently, and I had went with family, and one of my brothers couldn't go, so his wife and 2 daughters, I was helping them out.
Yeah.
because one of them was, just a tiny baby. So
wow. Now, my wife and I are going to have a baby soon, and we both made the judgment call that we're not going to Disneyland until that child can actually remember the fun. So we're thinking 4 or 5 years old. I don't understand why people bring their kids to Disney before 4 or 5 years old.
I agree, but most of the time it's just for the parents.
Just to get pictures.
Just to get the pictures.
Look what we did. Because the kid doesn't remember, obviously.
Don't remember. Yeah, because I think, it was only that we had to, because the baby has an older sister.
How old is, what's the age?
The older sister is 3 years older. So
okay.
4 years. 4 years older.
So she's right on the cusp.
Yeah, so she was old enough.
That makes sense. But I see a lot of families or a lot of parents just bringing their newborn.
No,
I'm like, well,
and there's just it's like the parents and the newborn. Yeah, no, that's for them.
What is this? What is happening? You can't ride any of the fun rides. I mean, what are you doing here?
No. Yeah. So it was just a lot of time. The amount of strollers that you see at Disneyland, and the amount of just people leaving, just trusting that people don't steal. It's crazy, but it's also awesome because you don't think about that. Mm-hmm. You know it happens, but it's just like, let me just leave my stroller. It's like a parking lot for strollers.
It's an infinite supply of strollers.
It's ridiculous. It's just like, wow.
It's crazy. We always, when we go to Disneyland, we make sure that we either get the pass now where you can go in before it opens, because you can do that. You buy a more expensive ticket and get in, or we get there right when it opens, and we have a whole plan where you can go from one ride to the next and do it before noon. And then after noon, you just kind of stroll around and just do the stuff that you don't care about as much. But my wife and I get in there and we run to things and have it on the FastPass app, and we make sure we're on it. So once we bring our kid, I'm not going to know what to do, because I'm going to be like, why are you slowing me down?
Yeah, the kids, it's going to be about the kid. That's what it's going to be about. It's not going to be about you.
I want to ride Dumbo 40 times.
So, you get all that out the way now, still before the kid comes, because it's going to be about that.
I go and leave my wife and the kid at the house.
You could do that too.
Yeah.
You could do. I mean, it's up to you. This is yours.
It's not great marriage advice. But.
No. I mean, it's hey, you guys have fun. I'm going to be going. Where are you going? Disneyland.
Disney California Adventure. I talked to somebody the other day, and they said they did a 1-day park hopper between California Adventure and Disneyland. And I'm thinking, man, even without kids, that's a lot. That's too much to do in one day. But she said if you do it right, you can ride every single ride and make it through the entire day.
Okay, so I don't like going to amusement parks when it's really crowded, like the really peak seasons, right? Mm-hmm. The last time I went to an amusement park on purpose was a few years ago, and I went on a Wednesday morning.
What park was it?
Magic Mountain.
Okay.
So I went on a Wednesday morning. Nobody was there. It was perfect, right? The people started to show up. There were people. I think we still, by the time we got to the afternoon, we had to wait for a ride, maybe an hour. But usually, Magic Mountain, those rides are 3 hours, mm-hmm. 3.5 hours, whatever. So the longest ride that I had to wait for was about an hour, 15 minutes.
Okay. Do they offer fast passes at that?
I don't. I'm pretty sure they do. I don't think that we needed it. I didn't think we needed it because it wasn't like. You could just run around the park before you saw a big crowd. It was nothing really that important. So, anyway, old man stuff. We were something popped up on my screen and I had to pull up to my eyes. So close. But anyway,
he was eating it with his eyes.
So we are in this line, and I'm excited because I haven't been on this ride in a long time, and I'm and I forget that by the last time I went till when I was there at that time, I had a growth spurt. Horizontally and vertically. It was so. I get on this ride, and I'm about to get all harnessed in, and it will not come come on my shoulders. I would either have to crouch down, like bend my knees to a degree where it would make it unbearable to ride this ride for 10 seconds for me to sit in this thing and be uncomfortable as all get out in this ride, or I just decided to, you know what, it's not for me.
So you waited that hour and
got on, and I had to immediately get off. And I heard what made it so bad is that I heard the Nelson laugh from the
No way.
From The Simpsons as I was sitting there doing this, and I was like, I can't do it. You know, I'm trying to pull the thing down past my shoulders. I'm a big dude.
He's a bouncer.
You know. Oh man!
If you listen to the last episode,
you're gonna get this old man strength. Okay.
Was the laugh from someone in the crowd?
Yeah, there was somebody waiting. And I was just like, oh. And then you hear somebody like, oh. And it was just like.
Now tell me they didn't clap as you're getting up.
No, nobody clapped. It was just sad. And, you know, I was with one of my brothers, and he was just like, man, let's just go. And I was like, nah, let's give it a shot. I could try some more rides. Because he didn't have that problem. He's, you know, not as big as me.
Marlon's not a fat guy. He's just a big dude.
I'm a large man, and we tried to get on another ride, and it was just like it was a no go. That time, the harness was one of those belt buckles, and you had to like clamp it down, and it was just like way too tight, and I was just like, I'm not trying to sing soprano for the rest of my life, trying to fit into a ride for 2 seconds. I'm good.
So you're not an amusement park rider then?
No. But what saved that trip? Now I was able to get on some good stuff. Like the first ride, I was able to get on no problem. It was awesome. I was like, yes. And that was actually a long way too. But it was like, man, this is awesome. The guy was able to get in. And it was really cool. And we were doing all kind of cool stuff. So I was like, oh, this is going to be a promising day. And then it was back-to-back heartbreak, right? But what saved the day was those the pirate boats, some people call the dragon swing or whatever.
Yeah.
That ride is probably one of my favorite rides.
Really?
So as we're leaving the park, I'm like, oh, there's a ride. I mean, let's go in there. You know, I'm a little dejected, but not to the point where I'm like upset. You know, I still had a decent time, and I'm like, all right, let's get on. So we waited in line. It wasn't a long wait. It was like mainly kids.
Yeah,
whatever. So we'll get all the way at the top.
It's like you're 6 feet taller than all these kids.
Hell yeah. So we sit all the way at the top. It was the best ride and the best time. I think I rode it 4 times in a row.
Really?
Yeah. Saved the trip.
How long ago was this?
Ooh,
a couple years.
About 4 years, maybe.
Okay, so you were still in your 30s.
Yeah. No, it was actually it might have been. Yeah, I was definitely in my 30s. I think right in the cusp because this is before I moved into this place. So anyway.
You rode it four or five times.
4 or 5 times.
That's how I know I'm getting old. I love roller coasters more than anything, and I cannot do them anymore. I get so sick. The only way I can do a roller coaster is if I actually close my eyes the entire time. If I open my eyes just for a second, I'm done for the day. I just have a migraine and a headache the rest of the day.
Yeah,
it sucks.
That's the worst.
And it's one of those things where I still do. I love roller coasters, and I just can't do them. And I'm looking at my body like, dude, come on. What's wrong with you? You can do this. Come on. You got this. No, I can't.
I mean, you're in relatively good shape compared to me. And it's tough. And another thing when I knew I was old and I was getting old and I could not do certain things. We're close. Henderson is close proximity to Vegas, so.
I don't know if that was a joke or not, but
so it is close. It is, and I call it not Henderson, but so there's a lot of clubs in not Henderson, and
because when you think of Nevada, you think of Henderson.
Yeah, by the time you finish listening to me, you will. Okay. So, on the Not Henderson Strip, there is there are a lot of clubs and things like that, and you go. I used to frequent these clubs when I was younger. Not a big fan of this stuff. Not a big fan. The crowds and stuff like that, and people keep asking me where the bathroom is, and it's like, look,
can you throw this guy out?
I don't work here. All right. But I knew this. I knew it was over when I went to one of these clubs, and the music was it wasn't bad, and it wasn't like really, really loud, but it was just loud enough.
Yeah.
And so I'm walking out, and I'm like, man, my ear feels funny. And I'm like, oh man, I know I clean my ears. It's like there should be wax in there. So I touched my ear and I pulled it out, and it's blood.
What?
Yeah. And I was like, what is going on? And I'm like, okay, just one time thing. It was just let me just clean it up. Don't worry about it. A few months later, because I didn't want to go anywhere near, I was like, let me test it out. Make sure. Same thing happened. I was like, nope, done deal.
What does that mean?
Done deal. I know what it meant for me.
Well, yeah.
I'm not going back to those stupid clubs.
Did you ever get an MRI or anything? I mean,
I've had several, and yes, I'm not a genius. So that's what determined.
I mean,
MRIs.
All they had to do is listen to the podcast to know that.
And these,
but I'm just saying. Bleeding out of the ear is just not a normal thing. I mean, I played loud, crazy music all the time.
But you had stuff in your ear.
I know, but I've never seen anybody in the crowd with bleeding ears.
That's what happens. Not yet. There's a lot of young kids at your crowd.
I think I've always
crowd.
Yeah, that's right. I think I've always had that old man feeling around. I play loud music, but I have to have the earplugs in all the time. When I go to a show or anything, I can't take it. It's too much. No matter what the music is, if it's just loud music for a long period of time, forget it. I'm out. I'd rather go in the parking lot, hang out with friends, and listen to the band as they're playing, inside, because I can't handle it.
Yeah. So I mean, now most of the time I stick to cigar lounges and just hang out there, just really low key, just hang out.
Read your Ready Player One book.
Yes, yeah. If you see a large black gentleman with a cigar reading a book,
he's on break from bouncing.
Yeah, he's on break. and if I have my legs crossed and you happen to see that I have no socks on, that means I'm going international player style.
Do you not wear socks sometimes?
With the loafers?
Yeah. No. Oh, okay. With
international player style. Okay.
Now, do your feet smell after that?
No, so when you go international player style, you got to know how to protect this. Okay.
IPS.
Yes, that's right. So you got to make sure you have your lotions and your powders and things like that strategically placed to offset any kind of the funk. All right.
There's no offsetting. Dude, when I take my shoes off from a full day, my wife almost dies.
So I mean, that's when you're walking around in sweat socks and stuff like that. No, international play style. You got the lotion, you got the powder, and then you're good.
Do you get calluses and blisters when you do that? Or?
Not when I do that. When I didn't know anything about calluses until my senior year in high school. And I was playing football, and I thought one of my you didn't have to wear cleats.
Yeah.
You screw them in.
Yeah.
And I thought one of my spikes or one of my cleats had went through the bottom of my shoe, and it's like stabbing me in the foot, like on the balls of my foot. It turns out it was just like a quarter-size callus that had formed on the ball of my foot. It was so painful. So I spent most of my senior year Hell Week in practice, the 2 days and all that stuff, in full gear and sandals.
Nice. That was a good play by you.
Yeah, it was a good play. I mean, I was a senior. I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Look.
I just from looking at you, I could tell you knew what you were doing.
Yeah, I know these players.
If you didn't listen to last week's episode, we're talking about racial profiling.
Oh, God. Judging a book by its cover.
You should never do it.
Yeah, so... I've had that before, and that kind of, but I know how to protect it. Wearing better shoes and all that good stuff, and making sure you lotion up your feet and all that good stuff. Yeah, you got good feet. What does it call it? What did my friend call it? I can't remember.
Foot hygiene or something?
Yeah, I guess good foot hygiene, I guess, is the way you can put it. But still, yeah, taking care of that, you're good. So, yeah, and natural player style.
When you were... I wanted to go back because you had said you loved the pirate ship swinging back and forth.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of a time where I was at a music park, and I had to have been 12. I was just at the age, between 10 and 12, where I was just at the height where I could ride the big boy rides.
Yeah.
And so I saw this, it was a spaceship, and it kind of did the same thing as the pirate ship, except for it went all the way around. And it would do like this full loop, so it would go back and forth, left and right, and gain enough momentum to make circles. And you have people strapped in exactly like the pirate ship,
okay,
but it goes around. So we're going back and forth and getting higher and higher, and it gets to the point where it can make the one loop around, except for it doesn't have enough momentum. And it actually stops to where the weight is perfect. We all weigh perfect.
Yeah.
And we were stuck upside down for 10 minutes. And they had to actually come and get like a crane and push one end of it so it went back around.
No.
So we're literally stuck upside down for 10 minutes. Just and it was, we had the pull down harness over the shoulder, so I didn't feel like it was going to open. But then in the back of the mind, I'm like, what if somebody just accidentally hits a button? Like they're trying to get this thing down, and they release us all. We fall head first to our deaths.
Oh.
and then as well as waiting in line, we went to Six Flags, I think last year in San Antonio, and they just opened this new Wonder Woman roller coaster that looked really cool.
All right.
And I was like, I'll just close my eyes the whole thing. It'll be fine. I can do it. We waited in line for about 2.5 hours. No joke. We're getting into the car to go, and then it breaks down, and at that point, we're like, okay, we waited for 2.5 hours. We're going to sit here. So we waited for another 45 minutes while they're testing roller coasters, and then finally they say, it's not going to work. It's broken for the day. So we had waited for almost 3 hours and 15 minutes for one ride that we didn't even get to ride. Now, I guess the question for you is, what is the appropriate length of time that you would wait for them to get that ride going again? Because they don't tell you. They don't say, it's going to be working in 10 minutes. Most of the time it's just, it wasn't working and now it's working.
30 minutes.
30 minutes? You think that's the cut?
Because after the first 10 is like, okay, I've waited this long.
Yeah.
I could wait a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Then the next 10 is like, okay, now you're getting pissed. Like, really, I'm even getting upset. Like, I waited all this time. I can't. And then the next 10 is like, should I be trying to ride a ride that's broken? and if it breaks when I'm on it, what's going to happen? So then like you start adding that up, and you're like, I'm good to go.
My fear always is that, okay, as soon as I step out of line and start walking out there, it's going to start working. It's going to start working.
You got to take that into consideration, of course, but still.
But once they said, hey, we're not going to get this working today, I'm like, okay, let's go on to the next one. And I was just so mad that I had spent 3 hours and 15 minutes waiting for this stupid ride. Man,
you can't get that back. But,
you can't. We never will.
Hopefully the conversation was good.
Unless we go back in time. Now, if Nicolas Cage was Superman, he could fly around the earth and make us go back in time.
In their version, he wasn't going to be able to fly, so no.
Could he leap over tall buildings?
No. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know what they were doing. I guess he was just wearing a tight suit just to be wearing it.
He had guns.
It was an asinine concept for a Superman movie. I didn't get it. It was very.
Now, speaking of dressing up, one of my questions for you was: do you still dress up for Halloween?
No.
Not even what if you get invited to a party or something? Do you dress up?
Okay,
for that?
funny story. I think I just told the story. For this girl that I was. Anyway. So we have me and one of my brothers. We have a birthday. We're a day apart.
Okay.
And we're like twins. And he wanted to have a Halloween party for our birthday because our birthday is close to Halloween.
When's your birthday? Because mine's
second.
coming up too. 2nd of November?
Yeah.
Okay, mine's the 21st of this month.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, not too far apart. But so mine is the 2nd. His is the 3rd.
Okay.
So we had the weekend off. I think Halloween, whatever. So we did the Christmas party, and this is
Christmas party?
Halloween party. Sorry.
Yeah, there it is. There's one
costume
of those,
party.
One of those things. Yeah. One of those old person things.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Which holiday are we talking about again?
I warned you guys. So, we were talking, and he was like, "What kind of costume are you going to get?" And I'm like, I'm not one to want to dress up.
Yeah.
For years, my costume was like, "What are you dressed up as?" I'm an angry black man. That was it.
Should have just had a bouncer, dude.
And so, but this time it's like, no, you got to dress up. I'm like, all right, cool. I mean, I don't want to be a spoiled sport. Mm-hmm. And so I get off work because I had to work that day. Go pick up our other brothers who came into town. Mm-hmm. And I grab a hideous sweater and some Jell-O pudding pops.
Oh, no.
Of course, I already had cigars, so it was just perfect.
Oh, no.
And then maybe a month, I don't know if it was that far, but it was relatively soon after that, all that stuff started happening with Bill Cosby.
Oh, so this was before.
This was before.
I was like, you're making a conscious decision.
No. This is way before. This was before I even knew that was going to be going. That was an issue. So I was just like, So
well, good thing you got it in before it was too late, though.
Yeah, and there's no pictures or anything like that. You just have me telling you that I did that. But it is what it is. I had no clue.
If you play Bill Cosby's voice like for about a minute straight, I can do his voice pretty well. But I have to hear it first. It's one of those things where I have to, and then I can do it. I did it for a week straight with everything in my life to my wife, and she was upset about that. She kept on saying, "Stop saying you want my pudding pops," like. But I did it for a week, and she's like, "All right, that's enough." Because I like doing voices, mostly just bad voices.
Why do you like doing voices?
I don't know. It's just funny to me.
I used to be able to do voices, and I can't do them as much as I used to now. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I used to do. I had and these are characters that I would come up with, mm-hmm. And then it was so to be part of whatever we were doing. Yeah. We used to sit in front of the computer and talk. Before podcasting was a thing, we used to just sit in front of the computer and record ourselves talking. Mm-hmm. And I wish that I had that computer still, because little did I know that would be something that people get paid, a lot of money to do.
So you can't just say this and not do a voice.
No, I can. I pretty much very well can.
What was your most famous voice that you would do?
The most famous voice? I don't have a most famous voice, but I used to crank people a lot. So I used to, but not like calling this random people. Yeah. So it was we used to work. We used to work at Sears, and
so this is where you were the whole time. You're supposed to be managing.
So no, this is so one day this particular manager is closing the store.
Your best friend?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
No. And he's closing the whole store down. And you have to make the final announcement that, hey, blah, blah, blah. This is all the customers are already gone. This is letting the associates know that you got to make your way, finish up what you're doing, let's go. We're about to leave. Yeah. So I decide in the office, there's another office right off. He's sitting in the front office, and I go to this other office towards the back of the same office. So it's right. I mean, I'm literally 50, maybe 15 feet away from him. Yeah. So I go on this phone and I call that extension where he's sitting, and I'm like, I'm stuck in the room. I can't see. It's dark, and it's. I can't see. I'm in the back. I don't know what's going on. And this is not a replication of that voice. I can't do it like I did it then. Mm-hmm. But this is like, and he's on the phone like, where are you at? What Are you okay? I'm gonna come out there and I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna come out. So, and I'm sitting there and like, okay, it's dark. I can't see. This is the worst thing ever. And I'm right back. I'm right behind him.
So what happened?
He goes out. And so I get on the PA system like, hey, man, it was me. There's nobody back there.
Oh, you shouldn't have told him. You should have had him look at the cops there.
He was so mad.
What was his first name?
Chris.
Oh, I don't know if I knew Chris.
No, I don't
this
think
was
you knew
before
Chris.
I was there?
This was at a different location.
Oh, okay.
For all you don't know, I worked at 3 of the 4 locations at Sears.
And they're all closed now.
All of them are closed now. All of them.
Nothing against him. Pretty much they're all closed.
Yeah.
One of the funnier stories I had from Sears was I used to work with, and I don't know if you remember his name. And me and Roz were trying to remember this guy's name. I can't remember his name, but he had a very southern accent, and it kind of sounded like Forrest Gump a little bit. And so one day, him and I bring out a dishwasher to a customer, and we're loading it in the back of the customer's car. And the customer says, that kind of looks like you dropped it. And, we did drop a few things back in the back in the day.
Yeah.
And this guy, no joke, looks at the customer and goes, well, yeah, I kind of did drop it from like 2 stories up. And the customer just looks at him and goes, what the F? Get me a new one. And he goes, okay, yes, sir. I'm going to go bring it on back and see what we got.
Wow.
I said, dude, you could have just said, you just dropped it in, like you hit something and walking out. Let me go see what I got. But this guy's like, yes, sir. 2 stories up.
2 stories up. That was a unique, horrible design for a warehouse.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Oh, it was awful. We had those big equipment that people ran into the doors. Oh, it was awful.
It was like driving a tank in like a China shop.
It was
so
so
an antique China shop.
Bad. It's just like the things that I would think about, like it's so illegal. You should not have a person on a forklift and another person on a pallet that you're lifting up to get up on the other stuff. But we did that. It's like, all in the efforts of customer service. Man, you're welcome.
And I didn't know this before I started working at Sears, but lawnmowers came in boxes, which was so weird to me when I first worked at Sears. And they came in like brown cardboard boxes. And you'd have them stacked up like 20 high, okay, on the second shelf. So you'd have to go, and of course, like the numbers would be out of order. You'd have to pull the one from the middle. So, me being me, I don't want to pull them all down. I'm just yanking the one from the middle. And do you know how many times I pulled it out, and then the hand, like the cardboard would break, and the lawnmower would just fall like 2 stories just to the ground? I mean, I feel bad now, but back then I'm like, what am I going to do? I'm getting paid $8, $7 an hour.
This was after I was a supervisor. I'm just letting you know that wouldn't have happened on my watch.
Yeah. Well, I ended up breaking my back there, basically breaking my back, and I got relegated to watching Price is Right every day for an hour.
So bad. I mean, they used to have us on those hot trucks. I don't want to turn it into this whole big thing, but anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? One final thing. I got fired from Sears. Actually, she gave me the lady said you can either be fired or you can quit. And I had worked there for like 7 or 8 years because she said she caught me on MySpace, just like chatting with somebody. And she's like, well, you can either be fired or quit. And I'm like, I don't care. Whatever you want to do. And she said, okay, you're fired.
Wow.
That was after 7 years and a broken back. That's what Sears gave me.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. Good. Okay.
So I have I made this kind of
Are we going up from there? Because that just brought me down.
No. Well, I'm going up for me. I don't know if you'll like it, but I do have something that I wanted to play you. You had sent me a brief, I guess, kind of like a trailer for our last podcast with just 2 minutes of us talking about stuff, and there was something that really caught my eye as we were playing this, and I cut this up, put some music behind it, and just wanted to play it for the listeners' music, just listening pleasure. So let's see if this works. I'm going to hit play. Hopefully it's not too loud, okay? So, oh no, you're gonna give me another one. I heard that, and I almost died. I said I gotta figure out how to cut this up and play it over and over again for him.
All right. That was good.
Yeah, dude. It's because it was at the very end of the show last week, and your voice was basically gone, so you're laughing.
Oh, it was funny. Bad. Oh, it was bad.
And I kept on telling you, dude, your voice is going on. You said, no, it's not.
Oh, man. It is so, goodness gracious. So bad.
You know, you're a huge wrestling fan, right?
Yeah.
All right. So my bass player, we were supposed to practice on Friday, and he went to the WWE thing. Event.
Oh, it's a SmackDown.
Yeah, SmackDown. Yeah. So, for me, I kind of gave up wrestling when I was 12. Mm-hmm. And I guess the question is being over 18 and a fan of wrestling a medical disability? No, it's not. Because for me, I've always seen it as being a crazed fan of Days of Our Lives.
I mean, it is a soap opera basically. Mm-hmm. It's a soap opera with action. Pretty much. If it's done right, a lot of the stuff, I am, full disclosure, working on, a wrestling podcast that I want to be doing. But for some reason, the wrestling, when I was a kid, you had these larger-than-life characters and things like that, and it was tailored towards that. Yeah. And then they evolved and became more, teen-oriented, but kind of more, add more attitude. It was the Attitude Era and stuff like that. Then they went back to the PG, where it was more kid-friendly. Mm-hmm. And they're kind of in between now. And for a while, it was about stories. Because that's what the most important part about it. It's not just the characters, it's the stories that the characters tell, or that and then the matches are kind of a part of the story. It's a way to further the story, things like that. So
you really get into it then. You know all the storylines and.
Yes and no.
Can you say that? Yes.
Yeah.
So you know some of them and none.
I know some of the storylines. You can tell the same story, so many times, and then you know what it is. Like I remember I was sitting last week actually watching the SmackDown that your basis was at. I was watching on TV with people who don't watch wrestling. This happened to be on. So we're sitting there at the bar. In a cigar lounge and hanging out, and my back is to the TV, and they're like, "Oh, SmackDown's on," and I turn and I look, and I'm 5 minutes, and I'm saying exactly what they're about to do, like, "Oh, this is about to happen. This is going to happen. This is going to happen," and they all look at me like, "You've seen this before." I'm like, "No, I just know this stuff." So yes, I do know. Pretty much I know the flow of how these stories go, and so yeah, I guess I do know.
You just outed yourself.
Yeah, I guess I do.
So the answer is yes and not no.
Yeah, no, I do know. But I mean, I don't know every league. I don't know any of these indie promotions. Mm-hmm. I don't really.
You don't follow the minor leagues?
I don't follow minor leagues.
Who was your favorite wrestler growing up? Who's your all-time favorite?
I know this was going to happen.
Bret the Hitman Hart?
It's tough. No. It's tough now. It really is tough. But if you can suspend the character from the real person,
Yeah.
it was Hulk Hogan.
Okay.
Hulk Hogan was my favorite wrestler. But of course, Hulk Hogan got caught on camera saying some unsavory words for, black gentlemen.
Yeah.
So,
are you able to separate the two?
Well, Terry Bollea is the man that plays Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
So Terry Bollea, I want to think, says that. Hulk Hogan never said that.
Hulk Hogan would never be racist.
Hulk Hogan was always about training and the prayers and the vitamins. So, he was never, out dropping N-bombs, because his daughter was getting, but anyway.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Huh. That's, okay, I don't know which way to take it. Mine was always Andre the Giant, just because he was massive and huge. But like I said, that probably ended when I was 12.
Andre the Giant was also, from all accounts, was not the best person towards people of my complexion either. But anyway.
Maybe that's why I liked him.
They did a good documentary. I think HBO did a good documentary on Andre the Giant. He was a massive dude, and he was a larger-than-life personality. And that's the thing about it, is larger-than-life personalities, that's what the draw is, a spectacle. You have larger-than-life personalities, and you just don't have that anymore. Yeah. It kind of died off with The Rock and Stone Cold.
Well, they brought some of those people back, right, for SmackDown?
For the first SmackDown on Fox, they went to the network, to Fox.
Yeah.
So The Rock did come back because he did pretty much name the show.
And Hulk or no?
Hulk Hogan was the week before. He came back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair.
Is The Rock a bigger draw than Hulk Hogan at this point?
Yeah.
I mean, within the wrestling community. Not obviously, if you talk to people outside of wrestling, I think The Rock would probably be bigger at this point because he's in so many movies.
Yeah, The Rock is a much bigger personality than Hulk Hogan. But in wrestling speak, Hulk Hogan is pretty much the Babe Ruth.
Have they ever fought each other?
Yeah.
Yeah?
That was my favorite match.
Of all time?
That was my favorite match.
Well, we can do this wrestling podcast right now, even though I'm not a wrestling fan.
It was kind of like recently I just saw two of my favorite college teams played each other in football, and I was there on the sideline. UCLA and UNLV.
Yeah.
And UNLV because I am an alumni. That's why they're my favorite.
Yeah.
Anyway. I knew a lot of the players. I had a lot of fond memories of the UNLV football team, even though they are not the best right now.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I love that school. I don't know. All right.
Yeah. Anyway, Hulk Hogan.
Anyway, I mean, it's a great school. I mean, so
great business department.
I went to film school, but it's okay.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. So UCLA is great, but
wait, you went to UCLA?
I wanted to.
Oh,
I wanted to go. That's why UCLA is the school I wanted to go to first, and I've always been a UCLA Bruin fan.
And you graduated from UNLV with a film degree?
Yeah.
Okay, Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan and The Rock fought at WrestleMania, and it was...
Which WrestleMania?
18, I think.
Okay.
And
I'm looking this up.
And no, was it 18? I think it was. But anyway, it was just those two. Hulk Hogan, my favorite wrestler, and he reinvented himself as a bad guy, and The Rock was just all around.
It was 18,
and The Rock was just an all around, his charismatic dude. That was, went on to do movies and things like that, and he was a host of Saturday Night Live. I don't think Hulk Hogan ever did that.
Really?
He's hosted Saturday Night Live several times now.
I mean, I'm surprised Hulk never did.
I don't think he's ever done that. I think it was because they had this thing where you had to protect your character back in the day. Okay. So if you were a bad guy, you had to be a bad guy. So when you talk about like when things became a little bit of not confusing, but when you started they start to peel the curtain back, you start to see it. You start to see that this isn't what it's supposed to be.
Do you like that or not?
So I remember we were at the Great Western Forum, and we had tickets to go see a WCW show back then. And WCW was like second rate to WWF at the time.
Yeah.
And I saw Sting and Ric Flair and blah blah blah, and they were fighting each other. So as we're leaving the Forum, there's a little bit of an aisleway where you can look down into the parking garage, and I saw a limo, and it was Ric Flair and Sting just sitting there chatting in front of this limo like it was nothing happened.
Ugh.
I mean, they just had like this big fight in the cage and everything. I think one of them was bleeding, and they're just sitting there and like just talking like nothing's happened. I'm like, and I looked at it and I was like, something. Yeah, I can see this, and I started getting older.
They might not really hate each other.
Yeah, and that's kind of when I realized that it's a show. Yeah. And then you start putting two and two together. It's like it's a show. You know, it's not real. So that was that. But Hulk Hogan and The Rock. Those two fought in WrestleMania 18.
Who won?
It was great. The Rock.
Did he do the people's eyebrow?
He did all of his signature moves. Yes.
Did he do the people's elbow?
Yes.
The people's.
And there's no more people's move. It's just the rock bottom. No,
Is that when he like sits on you?
No, the rock bottom is anyway. It's a slam. Okay, Hulk Hogan did his leg drop and he hulked up and he did the point and that was it. It was good. It was a good match. But the crowd is what gets you into when you're watching those shows. So if you're at a show and you're on stage and nothing is happening in the crowd.
It happens a lot.
And you are just you're out there animated, running around, doing your histrionics and all that stuff, and nobody's responding to it. It wouldn't be a good show. Like if I was to record that,
I would look back and say that wasn't a good show. I would still go as hard as I possibly can, but you feed off the energy of the crowd for sure.
Yeah, now you could see because I recorded some of your shows, and they are on YouTube, Silver Entertainment Group, so you can go check that out. You could see some of that energy, and I remember it was one where I was like right up on the stage, and the dude grabbed the mic and started singing a song. It was nuts, and I loved that energy. It might have helped me stay youthful for some bit of time because some old, large black dude, balding,
we gave you 10
walking
years.
around with the camera.
Cameras have really changed.
Yeah, walking around with a camera like, hey, I'm going to record this. Don't hit me because if we do, it's going to be a problem.
I'm a bouncer.
But anyway, so yeah, you got to have the energy. You got to. It's a big thing, and we can dive into wrestling because I can sit here and talk about wrestling for hours, but
I know
that's not what we're going to do here.
My wife's a big wrestling fan, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Maybe we can have her come in and talk wrestling sometime.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, we can have her call in, I guess, too.
Yeah, you can have her call in. She could be a part of the wrestling podcast.
Yeah.
So now I got JGAG and I got his wife, Mrs. JGAG.
VGAG.
VGAG. There you go. There we go.
The PG-13 nickname.
So, all right. So I know there was something on this that we're going to get into.
Is it the flat Earth conversation?
No, we're not talking about that right now.
I did a poll. I asked people if the Earth was flat, and basically, 1 out of 10 people said no. No. 1 out of 10 people said yes. So 90% said the Earth is round.
Okay,
that's science.
That's good. Now, you had this conversation about cats versus dogs?
Yeah, cats suck.
How? Okay.
I'll be straight to the point. Cats are just idiot losers. And if you have a cat, then you are also not on my nice list.
Oh, God.
Was I going to say an idiot loser?
Yeah, no. I mean, seriously.
Have you ever had a cat or dog?
Yes.
You look like a cat person.
not a cat
Are
person.
you a dog person?
No, I'm not neither.
Like
Obviously, I don't have anything now. I live in this house.
You don't like animals?
So when I bought this house, I think maybe a month before, I was living in an apartment, and I went to my cousin's house in L.A., and her dog had just had a litter.
Oh.
And I was like...
That's not good. Did she get fined?
No.
A litter. I thought she was littering.
Bump. Anyway.
Dad joke.
So the dog, she was like, oh, I was like, what is that noise? It was a mess. It was like loud. And I was like, what is going on? And I was like, oh yeah, my dog had a litter. And I said, okay, let me see him. And they opened up and a whole bunch of little puppies came out. And one of them just came and sat right by my foot.
In the apartment?
No, at my cousin's house in L.A.
Okay.
And I had one of them just came and sat on my foot and started looking at me. I was like, oh, okay, this one's cool. It was a little black and white puppy. It was a mixed dog. So my cousin didn't know where or how dog got pregnant. And I said, maybe. So that night I grabbed the dog. She had a box. I put her in the box, and I was driving back home from L.A.
How long ago was this?
Except it was a few years.
Okay.
And
what kind of dogs were they?
I don't know.
Big,
They
small?
were mixed. No, it was a small dog.
Okay.
It was a little mixed dog. I have a picture. I'll show you. But anyway, and if you can go onto the Facebook page, I'll send them a picture so you can put it up there so you can see the dog.
Oh yeah, do that.
Her name was Oreo, and she was a little cute puppy, but it was just too much for me. I was working way too much, and she was a puppy, so I couldn't have her running around my house. So I had her in the crate, and I just felt that it wasn't right. And, I was taking her for a walk twice a day, hour-long walks. We'd get up, walk around, and we'd go into the crate. And I come home, she's walking around we'll go around an apartment complex, and then she'll just kind of run around the house a little bit. And then I went and got her a little jacket. That's the picture I sent. She had a little, because it was really cold. She had a little hoodie.
Okay.
So but I ended up giving her to someone that's going to be able to take more time because I was working way too much and it was not conducive. So, and I didn't have enough space to just kind of let her roam free, and I didn't think it was right. I didn't think it was fair to her. So the person that I gave her to, I would still be able to go visit, and every time I would go visit, she would be so happy. And he was like, they're giving her baths every day. So they took real good care of her. So I was happy about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I have my list on why cats suck. They throw up randomly. They scratch apart everything. They aren't, all the cats I've been around aren't loyal. They kind of just do what they want to do. Whenever they want to do it. They just don't give a crap about, being your best friend all the time.
No.
They aren't the friendliest creatures. They bring in dead stuff. The one at the friend's house is always bringing in dead birds and cockroaches and just bringing them in the house. They give you super judgmental looks all the time, like, oh, I'm better than you, I'm a cat. They're not. The cats aren't better than me. They're super snarky. They give you also, with the judgmental look, they give you a snarky look that's like, hey, don't come into my area. This is where I poop and pee. Which brings me to my next subject. They poop in a box. Most of them are just poop in a box, and they spray all over the couch. Okay? So if you have a cat, you shouldn't. You should have a dog.
All right. So
hold on, one more thing. And this is why dogs are the best. Is because they love you always.
So, Anyway, okay. Look,
and I've done scientific polls. Dogs always come out ahead of cats.
So
always.
Look, I'm not an animal person per se. Not if I gotta walk around cleaning up your crap, I don't want to deal with that. If you had I have to worry about you, scratching me in the middle of the night. I don't want to have to worry about that.
Yeah.
So One thing I do like, I do like, my favorite animal is a liger.
You would.
Okay.
Are you looking at this Napoleon Dynamite box?
No.
There it is.
Before Napoleon Dynamite.
No.
Before,
you had no idea what a liger was before.
No, Jay Leno used to have him on all the time, and he had the largest liger
in the world
at the time, and he made it stand up on the ladder, and I was like, this is the coolest thing, because I've always liked lions, and they're just big lions, because they're a lion and tiger mixed, and they're huge. So I loved this animal. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. And so that's what I want. I always said that, you know when I've made it. And I'm going to share this with you, all of you bacon and eggers out there. Okay? I'm going to share this with you. So
we can call them beggars.
No.
Combining bacon and eggs.
No. Why would you combine bacon and eggs? It's just bacon and eggers.
All you beggars out there.
Bacon and eggers, that's fine. No.
I don't know. It flows nice.
No, it does not flow nice.
We're the beggars.
Wow. Put that on the poll.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to be ridiculous. A beggar or a bacon and egger?
Bacon and egger. So the bacon and egger is derived from, there was a commentator or a wrestling manager, and he used to talk about the people in the crowd. All these ham and eggers out here, looking, just running them down.
Haggers.
So it was the bacon and eggers. This makes sense because we're not ham. We're a bacon and egg show. Okay. Anyway.
So ligers.
Ligers are very awesome, majestic beasts. They're not bred for the skills and magic. They just are some of the biggest things. So, but what I was saying, give you a little bit more of an insight of what's going on in my life or what my mind is. You would know how I made it. It's like this. Oh, Marlon's he's made it, or MMB has made it. Whatever.
Outed yourself.
I didn't out myself. I am who I am. But MMB has made it. He's wearing the suit of armor from Bram Stoker's Dracula. He has that movie with Gary Oldman and Keanu Reeves. It's hilarious. But anyway, that suit is awesome in the beginning. All right, he's wearing that suit of armor. He has a quote unquote Excalibur sword that he wears with the suit of armor. Mm-hmm. He has the big gold belt made famous by Ric Flair.
I hope I walk in and you're wearing this one day.
And he's walking a liger down the street on a cub, not a full grown liger, because they can get to be over 1,000 pounds and 9 feet tall.
You're not doing like a Mike Tyson thing?
No.
He had a whole like tiger.
He had tigers and stuff. No. I'm not putting them in cages like that.
I really liked this story until I realized what a liger was. It's just a big cat.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it's a big... Now, you know what? I did like a big dog. One of my favorite movies as a kid. Still one of my favorite movies. I just bought it recently. The Never-Ending Story.
Can you sing it for us?
No, man. They already did that in Stranger Things.
They did. I know. We can do it. Let's do it together. I'll be the boy. You be the girl. You be the girlfriend.
No. Sorry.
Just do it. Just do it.
Nope.
Did you like that part in Stranger Things?
I did. I did kind of mark out. I thought it was pretty cool.
I thought it was cool. I thought it went on a little bit too long. They did like the entire
They
song.
did the whole song for no reason.
It's just... I think they went back and they were like, oh man, we need 2 minutes. We need 2 minutes of filler.
Don't get me wrong. I love Stranger Things, but that third season, I was like, So I have a friend who has a
liger?
No. Who has a girlfriend from Russia.
Oh, okay.
And, they watch Stranger Things. So they get to the parts. So these little kids cannot fool Russian army.
Yeah.
Didn't really care for it. From what I gathered.
Well, you know what I have. So did you ever play GoldenEye?
Yes.
GoldenEye was the bomb, and
On N64.
Yep, James Bond he kills a lot of Russians in that game. And our babysitter, I was 15, and this girl would come over, and she would watch my two younger brothers and my younger sister, and they were like 3 to 7 or 8.
Uh-huh.
And so, because I was 15, I wasn't going to pay attention to them. So when my parents were at work, she came over, and my brother every day would say, "I want to turn on and play GoldenEye so I can kill all the Russians I can." And she was a Russian babysitter, and she was just like mortified, and she lasted about 2 weeks.
Really?
Yes, the poor lady.
Oh.
And then you just hear in the background, my 6-year-old brother's just like, I got another one of them Russian commies, like, I'm like,
oh my gosh.
But honestly, I don't think there's anything off about Stranger Things. I think a bunch of kids could fool the entire Russian military, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Easily.
Yeah, easily. Yeah, it is done.
I mean, what does Russian have? Where does Russia have?
But okay, all right. I'm not having this discussion.
Can we call Rich?
That was
Call Rich.
JGAG.
Get Rich on the phone.
No, I'm not getting Rich on the
So far, JGAG has said that cat people are dumb and all of Russia is a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, they can be fooled by some kids in the 1980s. All right.
They had Hopper.
That Hopper. Oh my gosh. What happened at the end of Stranger Things?
So the next one, the final season, isn't set in. It's set all in Russia.
Oh, wait a minute. It's the final season?
Yeah, they're only doing one more.
Why?
The final countdown.
Anyway, but
they just said they don't want to just drag it on forever. They want to do one more. So the last thing I heard was they were doing a season 4. It's not set in whatever town they're in, and it's going to be in Russia mostly. I don't know how the kids are getting Russia. Maybe going through they're opening up the portal, I guess. I don't know.
I'm going to say this.
I think the person that's that they have, the American that they said, because you watched everything, right?
I watched all of it.
I think the person that they have is Hopper. You didn't like it?
Thumbs down to that. To
that idea. I actually like this season more than I like season 2. I like season 3. It wasn't by a lot, but I loved season 1. I'd give that one about a 9 out of 10. Season 2 for me was probably a 7.5. Season 3 was probably an 8.
Season 2 was okay. I was not. It went off the rails a little bit with the sisters or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, it's so cheesy.
I'm still mad about what's her name? Is it Deborah? Deborah, the first one, the red.
Oh yeah,
girl.
Deb. Yeah.
It still makes me mad. I mean, she didn't have to go out like that.
Yeah, she did.
She did have to go out like that.
Yeah. Anyway.
I'm kind of hoping, because 11 loses her powers, right? Her powers are gone. Yeah, she lost her powers. And I was a little bit disappointed with season 2 because I thought it was going to be Matrix 2, where Keanu learns how to use his powers and he flies around. And I didn't really like Matrix 2. You liked it more than I did. But he's just kicking like 1,000 agents' butt at once, and he knows how to fly and, it punches through. I thought that's how 11 was going to be in season 2. She had honed her powers, and now she's just punching through, people's skulls. And this last one, she uses her powers a few times and kicks butt, but then she loses them.
I don't even remember how she lost them.
I think she tried too hard. It was something to do with not being able to try, or she was not being able to focus.
Somebody grabbed her, and something happened.
Yeah. Oh, she went inside Billy, right? Billy's mind.
Yeah. The Red Power Ranger from the movie.
From the last Power Rangers movie?
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't get through that one.
It was pretty bad.
I couldn't make it.
It was pretty bad. And I'm a big Power Rangers fan.
Do you think that's because, do you think younger kids like that one a lot?
No, they're not making another one, so no.
Because they didn't know who to market it to. I mean, who do you market it to? Because Power Rangers is like it's still on. My little brother still watches it, but I don't know who you market it to. Like, how do you market it? Because you could market it to us, or you can market it to 9-year-olds.
Well, they did
And they kind of did it in between.
They have like a whole bunch of different dimensions. Apparently, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like like Ninja Turtles. Mm-hmm. Like people love the Ninja Turtles, and they do a whole bunch of like they had those movies that came out.
Yeah.
They still have the cartoons that are coming out, and they're catering to two different people.
Yeah.
So you could do that with a property.
Yeah.
You got to market it correctly and get it to the people that see it. Like
you just got to make it interesting.
Yeah,
that Power Rangers was bad.
It was. I mean, I was a big fan of the Power Rangers up until
2018.
Up until when they started driving cars. I don't remember what that was, but anyway, it was. I was like, all right, okay. I started getting older. I became okay.
You were a senior in high school. Is that what?
So I was a fan for a different reason as I got older.
Pink Ranger.
It was one of the female Rangers. I can't remember her name, but yeah, I was a fan for a different reason. So full disclosure,
you're 6'5", sitting in your parents' room, just in front of the TV.
Yeah,
out of football practice.
No, it wasn't nobody's parents' room. It was my room. Anyway, Power Rangers were still cool. It was okay. I liked it's like Dragon Ball Z. Mm-hmm. Like people, I remember grown adults that I enjoy Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, people love that shit.
They really love it. It's like the anime stuff, Voltron, all that stuff. They just released a Voltron for Netflix that was, I don't know if it was catered toward. Oh yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I don't know if they're still doing any new episodes, but it's some good stuff. So I don't know if you market it to the right people, and then you'll be fine. But Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles, all that stuff, like we were kids. G.I. Joe, they tried to do a movie about that. It was terrible.
The second one was better.
It had The Rock and Bruce Willis in it.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, so I don't remember anything that happened in that movie. Mm-hmm. But I do remember my reasoning to go to this movie.
Mm-hmm. Which movie? Which one?
The G.I. Joe movie.
First or second?
The second one. I didn't go to that first one. The first one was garbage.
Okay.
The second one looked terrible too.
Yeah, it wasn't a great movie.
So I had two, and we'll just put this out there. So I was at work, and I was working with two of my associates, and they were like, "Oh, we're going to go to this movie," and I'm like, "Oh, what movie are you going to go to?" We're going to go see G.I. Joe. I was like, "Oh, cool, that might be cool." And I'm like, this is full disclosure.
You already said
come
that.
Clean. Come clean, because I was trying to make it to where I did not come across bad. But it is what it is.
You just got to come across.
I'm just going to have to come clean.
I've already told people I hate cats. So.
All right, I'm going to have to come clean. So it was a particular associate that I had a crush on. Mm-hmm. All right? Mm-hmm. And this other guy that was there was another associate. He's a good dude, but he liked her.
Oh no, too. You were just jumping right in the way.
So I knew this. I knew what I was doing. And I was like, I just kind of tried to drive a wedge in between this.
You.
Yeah, exactly.
You dog.
Yeah, you cad. And
that's right.
Whatever 1950 reference we could talk about. But no, I did this, and that's the only thing I remember about that movie. Did it work? No, because I realized what I was doing. I was like, I got to go, and I just left. So that was fine and dandy.
Did they end up like being boyfriend and girlfriend?
They dated for a little bit, yeah.
Aww.
Yeah.
It's all because of you.
All because of me driving the wedge. Yeah,
driving the wedge drew them closer.
Well, good. It was good. But anyway, so that's what I remember. I don't remember anything about that movie. I don't remember anything else.
So the whole time, were you just like eating popcorn and just side eyeing them? Like, what are they doing?
No,
you better not be touching my future girlfriend.
No, when I sat down, when I sat down at the theater, I was just like, this is not cool. This movie sucks, and I need to get out of here. And what I'm doing is for what?
Did you all ride together, or did you?
No.
Oh, good.
No.
So you just said, I got to go pee. And
I was just like, I gotta go, and I'm like, I'm out because I think. Oh no! I think I stayed through the movie, and they were like, "Well, we're gonna go to this." It was like a bar down in the parking lot. I'm like, I'll see you guys later. You guys do your thing.
Nice.
Yeah. I was like, I can't. I couldn't do it.
You couldn't drive the wedge any deeper.
No. I had to. At certain points, you have to figure out. Look, it's not for you.
Yeah.
Let it go, and don't worry about it.
At certain points, you got to realize you're the black sheep.
Wow.
Sorry, it fit too well. It fit too well.
No, it did not. You could have said the third wheel. Three's a crowd, and it's like whatever. Yeah.
I'm totally taking your swallowing noises and making it into a song next week.
Good. Yeah.
Mixing it in with the laughing.
Make sure you get that. It's some Kentucky bourbon. There you go.
Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Oh, get that. Get that. There you go. That's for the ladies.
That's for John's mom. He's turning red.
Oh, man.
Yeah, because earlier I had said that she's the only one that's listening. Or I said, sorry, Mom.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Stop trying to hit on my mom, Marlon.
No, I'm not. And that's, okay, so another thing about being old, right? All right, so you start trying to do hip things. And you start trying to do these things. Like, I knew a guy who he was one of my associates at Sears, and he was born in 1932, I think. All right, but he worked out every day. Mm-hmm. He was in good shape. He had his hair dyed. Had in a fresh, recent modern haircut. And I think he's since passed on, but but back in the day, he was styling. So you got to keep up with the trends, and I always thought about that. Like, hey, and I thought about that last week, and I was like, I got to keep up, make sure everything's in tight order. And go out there, get it back on the scene with the ladies. And I had a mishap with some clippers.
Do you need to borrow my nose clippers? No. I used them. It worked pretty well.
No. So I just had this. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm going to say a mishap. Leave it to your imagination. And I had this mishap, and I'm like, what do I do now? Because this is not normal, and it's not cool. So how do I deal with this? Do I say something to somebody? Do I go to the doctor? It was bad because it was the clippers cut something and they were like bleeding, and I was like, this is not cool.
You should have called me. I would have come over and taken care of
I was just like, dude. Dude. So I decided, like, you know what, I'm not going to say anything until I find out everything's fine. So there you go. Everything's fine. We're good.
So now next week you could start mingling with the ladies again. Do you say that? Do you walk up to you and be like, may I mingle with you?
Oh, yeah.
If I was you, I would just put on the old person charm. Excuse me, my dear.
Just start walking up.
May I entertain you with this chat?
Man, like, you know what? You are the cat's pajamas.
even though cats are stupid.
You're the
cat's
oh
pajamas.
man, it's like you walking. Like I said, I busted the door down. I'm going to have to. I'm just going to start walking around.
I would not go out of your way to try to be hip. I would just go in there, just be yourself, just be extremely dorky, because no matter what you do, you're going to come across as dorky because you and I are just not going to be part of the hip, cool crowd.
Can't do it.
It's not going to happen. So
we're
going to come across as dorky. I would just go in there with your WWE belt on your shoulder, and you're going to get the right woman if she comes up and starts talking to you, right? You just throw that bait right out there.
Yeah. Most of the time, I mean, I am extremely shy when it comes to like going out and stuff like that. I think the last girl that I was talking to came up to me.
Wow.
And started talking to me. The last two...
Was that the blind one?
No blind ones. They all can see all of this. They can all see me in all my glory.
Take it all in.
Yeah, exactly. And they took it in twice. Anyway, it was the last few times, yeah. I was sitting at the bar or I was sitting somewhere and just hanging out. And they come up to me and like, hey, blah, blah, blah. Start, oh, you got your glasses? And yeah, it was weird. It's weird. I get these weird people.
That's how they came up to you? Yeah. They said, oh, what prescription do you wear?
Yeah, pretty much.
Looks like you're a light prescription.
And I'm like, oh, let me see. No. We were just we're just sitting there chilling, talking, and I immediately, what happens is like, girl's talking to me, time to repel them with the sweat. So then I just sweat profusely.
It's like a sprinkler.
It just starts coming on. Exactly. It's just...
All right, so your feet are not sweaty and they're clean, but the rest of you...
Quite comfortable. Yes. Yeah.
It's like a hippo coming up out of the water.
Yeah, it's so bad. And it's like you start talking, you start getting it, because then I start thinking about... So I think about stuff way too much, and that's my biggest problem. I think about everything that goes on, and I see everything that goes on.
Yeah.
When I walk into a place, I look at everything. I'm like a Terminator. I can see boo, 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 boo. And it's all in my mind. It's all there. So
you're like RoboCop, you mean?
Well, RoboCop did. Yeah, he did do that too. Okay. All right. Yeah, RoboCop's better. Anyway.
Wait, hold on. Seriously, you think that RoboCop would beat Terminator in a fight?
It's been proven. Yes.
Okay.
So anyway, I go into the room and I survey everything and I look at it, check my surroundings, see who's there, and I'm listening and I'm, find a spot that's comfortable for me. I usually, because when I walk in, and I'm not saying this I'm not bragging or anything like that, because my size, people tend to look.
Yeah.
Unless there's somebody also larger than me, which is, it happens. It happens. When you're down in not Vegas, on the not Vegas Strip, then you see, not Henderson Strip. I messed up.
Cut that out.
I'm not cutting nothing out. But anyway, I messed up. The not Henderson Strip. Sorry. You see people, all walks of life, all big people. And but when I walk into a particular establishment,
like Skinny Dugans or something.
Skinny Dugans. There's a particular establishment that I walk in, and I know the layout. I walk in, usually the bartender recognizes me, and all the attention goes to me. Everybody looks. So how do I play this? You got to play it cool. You can't just be like, hey, So I just kind of put tunnel vision on, and I just go and say hi, sit down, find a spot, because some people are still looking and trying to figure it out. Like, why is there all this tension on him? And I sit down, I try to just relax and enjoy myself. People walking by, and I can see everything. And then if it's particular, say for example, I'm sitting there, and a girl walks in, she sits down, and they start talking. Sometimes I'm in the mood to talk, sometimes I'm not. When I'm in the mood to talk, nobody sits down to talk to me. When I'm not in the mood to talk, everybody wants to say something.
Everybody wants to know about your glasses.
They want to say anything they can to just say something.
That's how it works.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
So you got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, and I'm not there yet.
I've played at bars. I've never been to a bar just to go to a bar, other than playing a show.
Yeah,
so I would have zero idea on how to act, or I would be extremely uncomfortable. Do you know how I met my wife?
No.
ChristianMingle.com. That's how I met her. I went on one date with another young lady before, just didn't work out, and then started talking to my wife, and I knew the second we were talking back and forth that I was going to marry her. And that was it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I knew that she was the cat's meow.
So all of my brothers and my sister, they're all in relationships, right?
Mm-hmm. Do you want a relationship?
Maybe. Yeah.
If another WWE fan comes around?
No. I mean, this is the thing.
What are your qualifications?
I don't have any qualifications.
Just somebody that loves you?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Somebody that keeps an open mind. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I go all over the place.
So that's one qualification. Really cool. I'm writing that down.
Oh yeah.
Really cool. Okay.
No, but somebody that's open minded and that's not one of those.
Open-minded. Boy, there's two now. Open-minded.
Look.
Okay. Not a racist? What about a racist? Would you date a racist?
No, I would not date a racist.
Not a racist. Would you date somebody that's taller than you?
Ooh, no.
Okay. we're getting to the...
Well, you know what? I can't say no. I can't say no to that.
I
wouldn't.
It's too late.
I wouldn't be looking for it, but if it happens, it happens.
Okay, so I'll put a maybe.
Yeah. I've always liked shorter women.
Okay. So like Filipino?
No, just shorter.
Oh, okay. So we're not doing any racial stereotypes here.
No,
Okay.
no.
You should never racial stereotype anyone.
No. There are many beautiful women in all nationalities. So
Is there not the racial
limit
stereotype,
myself.
but is there a nationality that you won't date?
No.
Okay. So not picky for nationality. Okay, that narrows it down. I'm just trying to narrow it down
Oh
here.
my God.
And then when I make your farmersonly.com
Farmersonly.com. No.
Okay, so what if this person can't read? Do you care?
Yeah, I would care a little bit.
You would want them to read. Okay, so must be able to read.
You got to be able to. I don't want. What is that?
Must be able to read.
Look, when you're with someone and you are at a certain part of your life, you don't want anybody playing catch up. I don't want to play catch up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So somebody that comes in is going to advance, and you're going to advance their life. You're going to help and make it better. I've been in a couple relationships where I had to help the person a lot. Mm-hmm. And then I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. And, I still loved that person very much, and I loved her for what all of her struggles and whatever we had to deal with. And she helped me.
Yeah.
But
so what about a murderer? Not a murderer then. Okay, not murderer.
No.
I'm going to put that on the profile. Has not killed anybody in the last 6 months.
I don't want a profile. I don't need one.
Okay. So can't be online.
So if you have...
If you're listening, if you have any friends that sound that must be able to read, they're really cool, they're open-minded, not racist, that's going to be tough for you. You live in Tennessee.
Does she know?
Not taller, maybe, not picky for nationality.
Does she
not a
happen
murderer.
to know Helen Mirren?
Let me ask her. Do you know Helen Mirren?
Or Sade? Or Janine Garofalo? Does she happen to know?
Janine Garofalo?
Yeah.
That's on your list?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, must be Janine Garofalo.
Doesn't must be Janine Garofalo.
I already wrote it down.
Yeah.
I don't know how to spell Janine.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my God. Jeez.
Geneene.
Wow. It's, hey, Janine Garofalo had this stand-up comedy show that she did on HBO. And I've always plus she's short and
true.
just dark. She has long dark hair, and I just love that.
Ooh, okay.
But
what about redheads?
yeah,
But you prefer long dark hair.
I don't prefer anything. I prefer the person to be cool.
So if I found a
personality is key with me.
If I found a redhead and
you gotta have a kick-ass personality.
I would just have to have her dye her hair before she met you. I could do that.
Yeah, just like people, like I don't. You don't have to be like way out there, like bonkers, but you have to be open. Like I can play. I don't like to play the straight man all the time. You know what I mean? No, I'm talking about in a comedy duo.
Oh.
Like a Martin and Lewis type thing. Not like that, that weird look. So I like to be the comedic relief.
I was like, I can write down men too.
No. I like to be the comedic relief.
Okay.
I completely understand what you were going for. When I said that, damn it. I just realized how bad that sounded. But anyway, no. The comic relief. I don't need to be that person all the time.
You don't need to be that person.
I'd like to be that person most of the time, though.
Okay. Like the one-liners, kind of zingy.
Just doing wacky stuff.
Yeah.
Wacky. No, look.
It's kind of how I feel like my roles on my show.
No, you doing the one-liners?
All the time.
Yeah, one-liners are terrible.
That's all I got. What if she likes RoboCop 3 the best out of all three? Do you open with that? Like, what's your stance on RoboCop?
No, I don't open with that.
That's what I would start doing.
I don't open with... No, man.
Start opening with list your RoboCop movies from least to worst.
No.
From best to least.
I don't open with any of that, man.
What do you open with then?
I don't open with nothing.
You just wait. So you're just sitting there waiting for the girl to come talk to you about your classes.
No, I talk to people.
You put out the vibe?
No, I talk to people and I have a conversation. I don't have a line. I don't do that. That's weird to me.
Be like, well, okay, here's what I do. When the girl comes up to you, or when you go up to a girl, just shake her hand and say, "It's nice to meet you. My name's Alex Bodiger." And if she's immediately like RoboCop, that's the one. You go straight to Not Vegas and you marry her at that second.
Nope. Maybe I'll try that.
You should.
Maybe I'll try that.
Nothing else is working, it seems.
So I had this whole routine though. I had a routine worked out, but Buddy wouldn't do it. Maybe you will. You'll be willing. But so he had a whole bunch of what I like to call creepy uncle sweaters.
Okay.
So he used to walk around in the wintertime in these creepy uncle sweaters, and we'll go to dinner.
Like Bill Cosby sweaters?
No. So they're like these wool sweaters, and they got buttons on them. Uh-huh. And they're like, and he had like multiple colors of the same style.
Oh, okay.
So he looks like a therapist or something.
No, oh, okay.
So,
did he look like the stepdad from Santa Claus, kind of?
Kind of, sort of. He
okay.
looked like Judge Reinhold.
Yeah.
So, but he was a little guy. He was a short guy and he had a lot of facial hair at the time, and he doesn't have it anymore.
He's taller now.
No, he has. he got some Prince boots. Anyway, I would tell him like, "Hey, this is what we're going to do. If the waitress looks good, you're going to go into your bit. Hey, I'm with my client here. He's very shy and working on his shyness, but he wants me to let you know that you're very attractive. Blah 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 blah. This whole routine that I had worked out for him to do. So it plays up my true shyness and anxiety talking, but it also gives it kind of a slant. So I'm like, hey, let's do this. He was like, no, I'm never going to do that. Never going to. He was terrible at being a wingman.
I can do it.
He was terrible.
I can totally do this.
No, I know. So we might have to revisit that. We just got to get you some weird sweaters, though.
We're going to get GameWorks.
GameWorks? No, we're not going to GameWorks.
Where are we going?
No, we're going.
The bar scene's not working out for you. Let's try. What about the roller rink?
No, I said restaurant. I didn't say bar scene.
You said restaurant. Okay.
Yeah. All right. I'm talking about just.
I mean, we can go to
bars.
a bar. I'm totally fine with that. If you want me to pick up chicks for you, I can do that.
I don't want you to pick up chicks for me.
I'll carry them right over.
No. See now we're not doing it. It's over.
Get over here.
It's a done deal. No, we're done. No. Sorry. I don't want to know. No part of this. But so now that I just put that out there, we can't do it anyway.
Well, what do you mean? I mean, none of the beggars that are listening now anyways are going to...
Oh, my gosh. Would you stop with the beggars? That sounds so bad. It's so bad.
Because they're begging for more.
It was one person in particular. I don't know if he listens to this show or he just interacts on the social media sites that you showed me about this guy liking the new RoboCop.
Yeah.
2014. Mm-hmm. Not happy with this guy. I think I remember his name too.
You do? You remember it? I mean, I could find it real quick.
I think I'm pretty sure his name.
What was his first name?
Colin.
Ooh. Yeah, Colin does seem like a name who would like the new RoboCop.
I was not happy with this Colin.
Did you like my Mason Rudolph? Because did you see he got knocked out of the game and they took his face mask off?
Yeah.
So I
that's pretty cool.
Put his head on RoboCop.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Let's see here. What was it? Is RoboCop a good movie?
It is.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, it was Colin.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll call in.
That was a good one. Why? That was so bad. Just the excitement on your face. I can't reproduce that.
It's like I hit those notes.
Oh man, that was hilarious. Okay, yeah. All right, that was that. I'll give you that one.
Yeah,
that was wow. Right. So okay, I won the bet with the football, and then we got to still have to pick up punishments for the other stuff. So they're a wash. So it's a wash, except for I'm up now.
I mean, you're up.
Yeah, because we got the fingernail growth, and then yeah, exactly.
So what do you want to do for next week?
I'm up.
We should measure our hair growth.
I'm not doing that. I'm about to shave this stuff right now. I'm looking like grandpa. I'm like, man, who let their grandpa in the club, man? I'm like, man.
So not a racist, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so for next week's, let's see who can kick the most cats. I don't know.
No,
just kidding.
I bet you're a big fan of Alf.
Alf, yes,
because he ate cats.
Yes,
yeah.
Somebody I look up to. You know what Alf stood for?
No.
Alien life force, I think.
Life force?
Yeah.
No.
You don't think so?
No, it wasn't.
It was something. Hold on.
It was not.
It meant something.
It didn't mean anything.
Hold on, I'm going to beat you to it.
It didn't mean anything.
Hold on.
It didn't mean anything.
Oh, no. Yes, it did. Animal Liberation Front. Oh, no, that's something else.
Something else all totally.
Animal Liberation Front. Oh, man, it's not. Oh, no, now it's American Federation Labor. Hold on. I'm turning my mic off and I'm going to look.
Wow. All right. So, I mean,
hold down the fort.
So we have, when we record the podcast is different than when it's released, but we will soon be allowing people to come on to Discord and be involved. Not force, form, but cooler. Be involved in a conversation while we're recording the show. That should be going out on social media. You'll be able to get the Discord invite and just jump on, get in the chat room, mix it up with us.
We want to have that really in-depth flat Earth conversation. So if you listen and you're a flat earther, call us.
He wants to have it. I don't. He wants to have it.
And if there's anybody that knows if Tupac is still alive, also call us.
I'm interested in that.
Okay. Do you think he's still alive?
No.
You don't think so?
No. He, unfortunately he died not Henderson and
where did Biggie die?
In L.A.
Oh.
Yeah.
Also not Henderson.
Not Henderson.
Yeah. That's a good one too.
Yeah, I mean I was born and raised in L.A. and I was there I was still living there when all that was going on. I didn't move out to Not Henderson until 2000 actually.
Oh wow.
Yeah, 2000.
So you were in the heyday of Tupac versus Biggie.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It was real crazy. I remember Tupac passed and Biggie passed not too long after, and Biggie's album came out, and I didn't have the first one, but I was like, you know what, let me go get the second one. So I walked, which is unheard of to do in L.A., especially when you were of age to drive.
Yeah.
I walked to my Best Buy from my house. I got home from school, and I was like, hey, I'm just going to walk to Best Buy and get this album.
Nice.
And that was the only thing that I did. I walked, and it wasn't that far, just up the street, boom, 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 got in, got out.
How was the album?
It was really good.
It was really good.
It was really good. It was sad. It was sad. It was a sad occasion because, some people, it goes beyond the music. Like you lose a life. It was a talented artist, but this is his life. And he was a son and a parent, and it sucks.
Yeah, I remember. I think it was Puff Daddy. Is that his name at the time? Was Puff Daddy? Did that Sting song, right? Was it Sting?
I'll Be Missing You. It was, the Police.
Police, yeah. Yeah, and I think he even had him come on and sing with him on some live appearances, which was pretty cool. And I just remember that song because it was all about Biggie, him missing Biggie and stuff.
Yeah, every step you take.
I'll be watching you.
Yeah, a great song.
Why can't you see?
You belong to me.
There we go. Then we should end it there.
I mean, seriously, being relatively new to this whole podcasting world here, I mean, at least for me, I've listened to quite a few, but as far as producing one and doing one, putting one together, you have some a little bit of a learning curve, somewhat. So we had a little bit of a faux pas earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God!
Could you hear that?
Yes, I could.
Oh my! I didn't think you could.
I'm sitting here having a serious conversation with the bacon and eggers, and you are over there, passing gas, and that's.
I hope you can hear it.
Oh my gosh!
I'll take that and make it musical.
Oh gosh! Anyway, that's like the coach from San Francisco when he farted at the press conference.
All right, continue with your serious.
Yeah. So what I was going to say,
he's begging you to keep listening.
No, I'm not begging anybody to keep listening. What I'm saying, we had a faux pas earlier because I was going to, unlike with our normal intro, I was going to play a song.
Yeah.
And it was good stuff. You guys missed some good stuff.
How did it go?
And sour bags over here. Oh my God, they're going to come get us. We're expecting RoboCop to come bust us down in the...
Cease what you're doing.
Yeah. Is
that what RoboCop...
No, he never said that. Never said that.
Is that what he sounds like too?
Never said
Please stop what you're doing.
No, please come with us, guys. No.
Dead or alive, you're coming with me. That was what his voice became in the third one.
Oh gosh, it was so bad. But anyway, so yeah, we were going to start off differently, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
We still had fun. We'll learn. I will learn. I didn't hear any beeps.
No, this might be the first beep-free show.
The first beep-free show.
Yeah.
So yeah, just keep listening. And like I said, we want to get more interactive. We want to hear from you guys. There's going to be a lot more that we're going to be putting out there. So,
do you like Legos still? I see you got your Legos.
Legos?
Do you still play with them? Like, do you still buy them every now and then?
Okay. As a kid, I enjoyed Legos.
Okay, stop right there. That's a tease for the next show. Legos.
Yeah, that's an embarrassing tease.
That's a big tease. People love Legos. Oh, I just wrote it down. Legos. Ooh, we can talk about Egos. There we go. And what's the ICP drink? Is it Faygo? Faygo.
Oh, man.
Faygo. There we go.
Oh, man.
Legos,
Wow.
Egos, and Faygo.
Oh.
That's the way to end the show.
Yeah, yeah.
With an
What about
ICP reference?
ICP reference? Yeah. This thing is.
I mean, if you're a juggalo and you're listening, that's fine. It's whatever. You could become a beggar.
It's gonna be whatever. It's bacon and egger. Man, I'm. You know what? I'm going to jump in my Winnebago and I'm going to run. I'm going to just go cross country trip.
You're gonna run for the hills, run for your life.
You missed it, Winnebago.
I got it, dude. I got it. I just didn't like it.
Yeah. All right.
Winnebago. I don't know how to spell that. Is it? How do you spell Winnebago?
Yeah, Winnebago. That's how you spell it.
Winnebago. Winnebago. Literally spelled it Winnebago.
All right, so we are wrapping. I'm wrapping this up because this is. I got to take a nap. I'm gonna take an old man nap, and so we are going to come.
Please listen to us next week.
Yeah, so you can hear about the Winnebagos,
Legos,
the
Egos,
Legos, the
Whoop whoop.
ICP, and their.
Have you ever listened to them?
Yeah.
Wow.
And their. What am I? I'm losing.
Shenanigans.
No, not their
You're
shenanigans. Their influence on modern youth today. We're going to talk about this in depth. We're going to have a former juggalo come on and talk about the. No, we're not.
I can make it happen. I can definitely find. I know a juggalo. He's a wrestling fanatic too. So.
No, we're not. I mean, I don't have a problem with ICP or the juggalos, but come on, man. This is not 2001.
We're doing it. Hold on.
Oh my gosh.
And
then how did he feel about the classification of me in a gang?
I'm fine with it. I think it just gives. If I was a juggalo, I'd be fine with that. I think it would be cool. I'd be like, I'm in a gang.
Yeah. What are they called? The little hatchet man?
Oh yeah, I'm not sure what's that was. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I'm not sure. They just had the gathering a couple months ago or a month ago, the annual gathering. And actually, it was a pretty good lineup of bands.
Really?
I don't know why we're talking about this now because we're gonna have a juggalo on next week.
Yeah, we can talk about it. We can talk about that, but we're gonna have. So yeah, hopefully, maybe one day we'll have a gathering.
Oh,
we can have all the bacon and eggers.
Oh, you beat me to it.
Yeah, all the bacon and eggers for a nice lunch.
My mom.
It makes some sense. It should be breakfast, obviously.
Yeah,
obviously.
Maybe brunch.
Maybe you do a brunch.
A beggar's brunch.
Okay.
Beggar's ball.
Nope.
All right.
Nope. We're not doing that. Nope. Anyway, check us out. Follow us, like all that good stuff.
On the IG, on the FB.
Yeah,
on the DL.
We have a lot of social media, so get involved in that group. Again, I have no idea what social media is. No clue.
I'm gonna get involved with that group.
Yeah, it's like an old man. Really
get together with the other Facebookers.
Yeah, get in there and
the grammars.
Whatever you do, whatever you kids are doing now, and talk to each other.
You need a nap, dude.
Through the computer. But yeah, go ahead and like, subscribe us, and as always. Not always, as of the last show, I'm going to continue to say it. Honor, respect, integrity. That's the ox, and the marathon continues.
Bye. Oh, we're still going? And would you listen again? Oh, that's what you want me to say? And ask yourself, boys and girls, fellow beggars, would you listen again?
Bacon and eggers.